Chris Kiesel, my man, aka Keys. Your hair's looking good today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Worked hard on it.
How are you, friend?
Doing fantastic. Living the dream. Beautiful day out there. Got a good workout in this morning. Got a good walk with the dog. Everything else is smooth sailing. So got the important things taken care of.
Good, good. Well, this is a Military Investor Network member spotlight. You've been at the top of the leaderboard, commenting, posting stuff, offering advice, giving some great information and education on a lunch and learn recently. So I want to give back and highlight you and everything that you're doing. So let's start with just a little bit of background about who Chris Kiesel is, where you came from, and then we'll go from there.
Fantastic. Background: I'm a New York kid, born and raised. I joined Stu at the infamous boat school for college. He was an evil lacrosse player. Just kidding. I was the wonderful lacrosse player. He was the evil baseball player. We had fantastic battles on the fields of Annapolis, and then we both joined as aviators and went through flight school together. And we had our paths crossed a couple times, and so we've known each other for a long time. And once I once we split up at one of our squadrons, I ended up continuing on going reserve. So I basically flew, got out in 2013 as a reservist, got married, asked my wife what she wanted to do, and she said she'd follow me anywhere I wanted to go, but she didn't want to leave San Diego. So basically, I had to stay in the reserves, but it was great. I ended up getting involved with the spec ops unit. I was flying for air ambulance or EMS on the side. I did a little brief run through the airlines and realized that lifestyle was not exactly for me. So I stayed in the reserves, was flying for a little bit. And then I realized I was just away from home too much. And I received a kind of like a headhunter from a mentor saying, "Hey, I need fresh blood in my firm. Can you ask any of your buddies if they'd be interested in joining, wealth management, kind of joining the financial industry?" I asked around and I ended up realizing, like, man, this is a great opportunity for me. Why don't I try it out? And so I ended up getting involved in wealth management, studied while I was flying to get my CFP, was hired in the end of 2019, 2020-ish, went through the COVID realm, cut my teeth with a boutique wealth management firm out of LA, then decided to put out my own plaque and start my own business. And actually, it worked out great. January 2nd of 2024, I've been on my own ever since. And I've picked up a couple other designations on the way. But running Glideslope Wealth Management. And I also have a consulting business on the side as well to kind of balance everything out. Living in San Diego, living the dream.
I love it, man. So good. You had mentioned when this opportunity came to you, you were considering, transitioning out of the military, out of the reserves, out of flying. What was it about wealth management, financial planning, that was a good, transition for you, to leave the service and go into starting a business on your own?
I left out a couple things in the intro to keep it efficient, but essentially, what ended up happening is when I left the reserves, I actually got headhunted to a carbon fiber or composite startup. And I was young. I was excited about moving and shaking. The military was a little slow for me. I wanted to like cut my teeth and become an entrepreneur. I got invited to join kind of at the ground floor. It's a long story, but essentially, like many startups, it didn't work out. So then I went back into flying. I kept the flying thing going the whole time in the reserves, but that was my first civilian job. Then ended up being a professional pilot on both sides. But really, what it came down to is I loved flying, but I was away from my family a lot. I was away from my friends, and I felt like I was in this nether world of kind of everybody was working when I was off. I was off when everybody was working. I kind of felt almost on the outside of my community bubble in a way, even though I was taking care of my responsibility for the family. And when I got that opportunity, as I mentioned from a mentor, it kind of clicked something where I realized everything from my first job my first collateral as the Avarm Divo, I realized that I had guys working for me that knew nothing about finance. And then when they actually knew something, it was typically wrong. And I remember having a chief basically be like, guys, don't worry about paying off, just pay the minimums and you'll be fine. And I was like, oh my God, stop. All right, we need to have this. And so I basically became the guy that was talking finance, that would, I read all the Rich Dad Poor Dads, Richest Man in Babylon, kind of The Millionaire Next Door, like all the books, all the
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
And so I basically just ended up doing that. And then when I got this opportunity, I just realized, oh my goodness, I've kind of been preparing for this all along. And once I got into it, I recognized, this is a wonderful place for me to be, to kind of take my inquisitive nature, my love of finance and numbers and kind of connection with people kind of into to getting paid for it, I guess, and
Yeah.
to see that as a new path.
I love that, man. And I love your point about just being able to have a schedule that aligns with your values, with being able to be home, right? Being able to be around friends, and being able to be curious and inquisitive and seeking knowledge, but also helping others gain that knowledge. Because I know you, since college, and you've always been that guy that has wanted to insert into educational topics and conversations and be that one that's teaching, mentoring, coaching. And so I love that about you. What one, how did the transition go, from no kidding end of military to full-time, business owner, entrepreneur? What lessons did you take from that? Like what lessons did you take from your military days that have transferred well to being your own business owner and entrepreneur?
There's a long story, there's a short story, there's something in between. I'll try to hit the highlights
Let's
and
do it.
basically say one, the transition was a bumpy ride. Um, I get a lot of questions similar to this from young guys and people kind of going through it. And I always try to say the perspective is very rarely will you leave the military, find that next 20-year perfect career. Also, yet again, being two former aviators talking to each other, you cannot replace the squadron kind of wardroom feel. I've been trying, it hasn't worked, but I do my best to find that and surround myself with people that I enjoy being with. But the transition was not easy. It took a couple steps. Number one was getting the education, getting my CFP, passing a slew of tests, and right back into API type stressful tests. But I had to get the education. I had to get the tests that completed just so I had the right designations to actually start this career and do it well. Then I had to get over the imposter's dilemma of, oh my goodness, I'm walking into a career where there are people my age that have been doing this for 20 years. I may have been a wonderful pilot, but none of those, none of my flight hours mattered, right?
Right.
That was our kind of currency that we used to have. And so I had to basically get over the imposter's dilemma, understand the language, understand the dynamics of the firm that I joined, and all of those things. But what I realized is that I am a people person. I am comfortable speaking in groups. I'm comfortable finding what the problems are, what needs to be fixed, coming up with ideas of how to fix it. Very transparent. So I had to learn some lessons of how to be not politically correct. That's not the right word. How to be correct, hold myself in a way, because we understand chain of command, but that kind of went out the window in this firm. So I had to kind of figure out where I could push, where I couldn't push. And then once I had the designations, I had, got over the imposter's dilemma. And then I said, wow, all of these skills that I brought with me, all of this experience in the cockpit, like, number one, nobody's dying in this career, right? Like people can feel as though their investments are down. They can feel as though, oh my God, I need to have an estate plan. Oh my goodness, I don't know how to. but these are all things that we can solve, and nobody's life is on the line. So I'm able to bring a level of calm to this work, which I feel people appreciate. And so it was a couple step process, but it was, do I have the education so that I feel as though I know what I'm talking about and I'm not just making this up? But then to get the experience, to get the comfort, get over the imposter's dilemma, and then realize, like, hey, I may have started in this career late, quote unquote, but I've got a big engine and a big tank of gas and I'm ready to run. And then I started to realize that not only had I caught up, but I was kind of feeling a little bit um, constricted is not the right word. I was feeling a little bit boxed in, and I wanted to grow. I wanted to expand. I wanted to do things in a way that felt more authentic to me, which then led me to starting my own business, which is a whole other, path we could go down. But that's my semi short answer to your question.
That's great, man. That's great. Um, well, let's talk quickly. Just I want to give you the opportunity just to talk about what it is you actually are doing. Talk about Glideslope Wealth.
So Glideslope Wealth is the way I describe myself. It's a tagline. It's a little goofy, but it does kind of represent what I'm trying to do. And I say Glideslope Wealth Management. I am your financial co-pilot. So the analogy I always give is I can give you financial advice. I can help you with financial plans. I can manage your money. I can invest your money. I can help quarterback your growth and building your financial foundation, solving your goals. But we're going to do the pre-flight. We're going to chart out the path that you want to go. I'm going to get you, up into smooth air. I can navigate for you while you fly. You can ask me to take the controls for a little bit, but the plane is yours. We can get off at any airport that comes along the way if you feel you got it. Or I can just hang out in the co-pilot seat and chat you up and keep kind of feeding my clients good information, what I've learned, because I'm in the books every day. I am in the stream of information and watching the markets, seeing the updates to the tax codes, all those things. So Glideslope Wealth Management is designed for aviators and veterans. That's what I'm serving, which I could not do in my first firm because it was boutique, ultra high net worth. We wouldn't even talk to you unless you had 5 million to put down and invest right there. Not net worth, but just assets too for us to manage. And that just took out a lot of my friends and family. And my only jobs in life have been lifeguard, helicopter pilot, and financial advisor. Like, I'm here to help. And I feel more of my friends needed help with finance than they needed help with me picking them up with a helicopter, even though that's still really cool.
It was really cool and a lot of
It
fun.
was. It was. It was.
That's great, man. I love it. It's fantastic. Best investment you've ever made.
Marrying a fantastic partner. It's underrated, but I truly believe that the most important financial decision you will make when we're talking about investments, and you can take this in many different ways, but I'll try to keep it for dollars and cents. But I truly believe that the most important investment dollars and cents you will make is in the partner you choose, and I hit a home run with that.
Amazing, dude. I love that answer. Worst investment you've ever made.
Whew, I'm changing my perspective on it, but another member of this wonderful military investor network and I bought a house together, and it was awesome, and it was perfectly suited for our time of where we were. We bought a great house. We put sweat equity into it, and we got crushed in
Yeah,
2009, 2008, 2009. And for many years, that was what I considered, like, I woke up and still had a stomach ache over that, like, if I had held on for one more year, if we had done this, if we had done that, if we had sold at the time that we thought we should, all of those things. Now I'm kind of just like, lesson learned, nobody hits 1,000, and I was not the only one, so it was definitely bigger than me. It was one of those forces that that just we got steamrolled, and if I had known then what I know now, I would have done things differently. But man, how often can we say that? So
Yeah. You and me both, brother. I was right
yeah,
there with you. Yeah,
yeah,
same exact scenario. Bought a house in San Diego in 2005 with a friend with a partner, and also got crushed.
yep, exactly, exactly,
I think there's a lot of people like us around that time period.
exactly.
So speaking of, if you could go back and change time, if you could go back and give yourself or someone that's, up and coming, a younger version, what advice would you give?
This answer has changed, and I had a fantastic. I've kind of got a little men's group that a group of peers where we kind of share these things, and that was one of the questions we had during our last post eating and conversation around the campfire. And really, what I've come to believe is that the advice, the mistakes that I've made, the turns that I've taken have all led me to where I am now. And life is really good. I'm very happy with where I am. And so would I be different if I had won the lotto, things like that? I just don't know. I'm really happy with where I am. So that really feels like I should be comfortable with those bumps along those ways and the different turns. But if I could go back to my 20-year-old self, as I would tell myself, be a little kinder to yourself. Don't take things so seriously and keep learning, and don't, you're not going to figure it out. But for me to go back and say 2013, when I transitioned, going back to one of your other questions, I could have gotten into finance in 2013 and I would be way farther ahead than I am now. But I got that opportunity at one of those Naval Academy or Service Academy career conferences. A guy was basically going to offer me the position that I was offered in 2020, but I wasn't ready for it. I was like, sit behind a desk, computers, like, forget that. Like, I'm ready to go out there and do a startup and make $1 billion. But now I'm so excited to be able to walk from my house 7 steps and be in my office, walk my dog, get a great workout in, make a cup of coffee for my wife, check in the morning. All of these things are great. So I would just say, Keys, chill out, keep learning, keep, staying flexible, follow the things that excite you, but you're not going to hit 1,000, and just be ready to transition, and don't beat yourself up for those little paths that you take that don't turn out to be great, because at least you have the experience, and you'll have a diverse experience set to pull from, and no experience is a bad experience unless you don't learn from it and learn from it. So that's pretty much what I tell myself if I could.
That's great,
Even though
man.
I'd probably give myself some stock tips, but that's going down a whole different direction.
Uh, Buy Apple.
Yeah, don't be late to the crypto phase.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Buy Apple. Yeah, exactly.
Insider training going on.
Yep.
Um, that's good, man. I love that mindset. I love that perspective. I think that, yeah, every failure can be a lesson learned. Every step you go down, every path, every door you open, regardless of if it closes or opens, is a learning opportunity. So, it's great, man.
Great.
With just a few minutes left, what would you ask from the other members of the Military Investor Network? What would you ask from those that are watching this video? What do you need right now? What do you need in your business or your personal life? If you had to ask something to the audience, what would it be?
I'm excited to be part of a group like this. Believe that getting like-minded people that have similar backgrounds together to be able to support each other. This is essentially a digital version of what I was looking for in my local group of kind of a team of peers that I can bounce ideas off of, that I can share experience with, that we can be stronger together than we can as an individual. I have this quote written down, but if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with a group. And this is the perfect definition of that. Go, build a group, get a bunch of mentors together. peers that you can kind of bounce ideas off of. And this is why I'm so excited to be part of this group. I'm actually ready, like I have some breathing room, I have some brain space. I feel like I have a lot to share. I feel like I have a lot to learn. So I'm just excited to be part of the group. If I could make a request from a business owner, is I am here to help people like this group that are in this group. And so, if somebody needs help, call me. Let's talk this out. We don't need to be a client. I'm just here to help, bounce ideas off, whatever. But if somebody knows somebody that needs help, that is part of this network, extended network, I'm here to help. I'd love to be able to, meet people. Like the digital stuff, the marketing is great and it works. But just to know somebody that you can say, I've been listening to this guy, Keys, he's a solid guy. He shoots from the hip, he calls it how it is. And I think you should talk to him. Those are the best recommendations. And it also is keeping me within the group of people that I want to serve the most. I want to help military. I want to help veterans. I want to help friends of those people. And that's just, everybody knows my background. Aviator, you're an aviator, but like military aviators, that's kind of friends and family of those groups. We all have a mindset that I feel works very well. I communicate that way. And if I could make an ask, hey, let me help the people that you care about. If you have questions, doesn't that need to be a client? Just, the conversations lead to other conversations. And I feel like it all works out.
Yeah, man, that's so good. I got on your newsletter email list recently, and dude, it's just fantastic information. I love everything that you put out. You've given some great education so far within the group, and yeah, man, just a wealth of knowledge. So I appreciate you. I'm excited just to be a part of, watch your growth at Glideslope Wealth. If you could. Tell people where they can find you. Give us your website. If they want to sign up for your newsletter, how do they do that? Where'd you go?
Easy day. It's glideslopewealth.com. And my name is it's Chris at glideslopewealth.com. Very simple. I'm sure we can drop that in the information on this video, but I'll make sure that those are easily found. But obviously, connect with me through the network as well, that you have created so wonderfully. And that's pretty much it. I send out the newsletter. If you want, all you got to do is say, Keys, I want to be added, and give me the email address. But I haven't just taken my contact list and added everybody, because sometimes I feel a little sensitive. You might not want to receive it, but if you want to receive it, just let me know and I'll happily add you. But I do not want to be a spam. I do not want to be inauthentic in what I do. I really am trying for authenticity. That is a big part of how I approach things and how I market. Probably not the best for meteoric growth, but I also feel like it's more organic, it's more authentic, and it leads to maybe less clients, but a higher quality of good clients that I'm able to help and work with and connect with. So
Love that, man. And he is on the socials. LinkedIn's probably your most active site, correct?
I would agree.
Okay, I'll put that link in the show notes as well. Uh, Keys, it's a blessing to know you. Appreciate you, sir. Um, Thank you for being a part of my community.
Oh, happy to be a part and look to continued success for everybody here, and looking forward to the directions you take this. I'm happy to be on the plane with you.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, Stu.